is the Lynn Lozano Show, where I teach women how to live their best possible life. So grab a notebook and a journal and let's get busy. Let's get busy learning how to believe in ourselves again and learning how to manifest our dreams. Here's what I have learned talking to so many of you women, and that is that you either have been too busy to think about your dreams, or you feel like you're too old to look at your dreams, or life has just sucked the dream out of you. And I'm here to tell you that your life still has purpose, your life still has meaning, and there is still so much time, so much quality time for you to have left in your life to create your dream. So let's get busy about it. Okay, so this is episode 3. In episode 1, we talked about the first 2 steps in the process of manifesting your dreams. We talked about making the decision. In episode 2, we talked about your imagination and how to use your imagination to create your dream, okay? And if you missed episode 1 and episode 2, that's all right. They're right here for you on YouTube. They're also at the kellylynnlozano.com webpage, or you can find them on entirelywomen.com. So if you haven't seen them yet, no problem. Just go back and check them out and hit subscribe if you're on the YouTube channel. And then that way, when the new episode drops, you can just go right ahead and check it out from there. Okay, so tonight we're going to actually talk about feelings and how feelings actually will help you manifest your dreams that much faster. Next week, we'll talk about serendipity, which is one of my absolute favorite words and absolute favorite topics when we're talking about manifesting your dreams. And then number 5 in the process is simple. It's just repeat. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Repeat the 5 steps until your life is everything that you've always wanted it to be. We are going to talk about feelings, and when we talk about feelings and manifesting your dreams, there's 2 areas that I want to cover tonight. I want to cover why feelings are so important in manifesting your dreams, and I want to talk about also how to use your feelings while you're trying to manifest your dreams. So those 2 things are what we're going to cover. All right, you might want to take some notes and to remember this, because some of it's kind of heavy and some of it isn't. So let me start with this. If you watched last week in episode 2, we talked about making a decision and getting super clear. Getting clear and using your imagination to get clear with what you want. I shared what I'm getting clear on right now, and that is my Girl on Fire 2021 conference. If you haven't watched the episode, I want to encourage you to go back and watch it, and here's why. Because when I went back and watched it, I watched myself light up when I talked about the conference. So when I talk about the Girl on Fire Conference 2021, I'm all in. I'm all in. I'm so excited about the backdrop, the way it's going to look. I'm excited about setting up this whole new live stream, and that it's going to be something as far as conferences go that has not been done before. It's going to be new. It's going to be different. And I'm going to put that together. I'm going to find the team to help me put it together. I think of myself as a creative entrepreneur. I like to create ideas and find people that are creative in other areas to help me put it together. I realized just how much I do feel when I think about and I dream about what it is I'm trying to create in my life. Now, I was talking about that to you. And so when you're talking about your feelings and you're trying to attach them to this new dream that you have to really, really think about how something is going to look, how it's going to make you feel when you look at it. Use your senses. Is the coffee on in the background? Can you smell it? For me, it is just the smell of the hot lights. It is just the excitement in the air. I can feel the nervousness that I'm going to feel that day. And I think one of the biggest things that I feel when I'm thinking about my dream, because what I want you to do is I want you to think about the end result. So what it's going to feel like once your dream has been manifested. So for me, that end result is always the minute where it's cut and the conference is over. And it's that feeling of overwhelming excitement and gratitude that brings me to tears. I feel that. I feel that every single time I dream about the conference. And that's why I want you to get hooked into feeling when you're dreaming. Okay, I want to talk to you about something that I posted this past weekend, and it was on the Lynn Lozano page. If you don't follow the Lynn Lozano page, please go onto Facebook and do that, because I post a lot of encouragement and have conversations that have to do with extending the conversation that we have here in the show. One of the things that I posted was I asked you to spend an entire day listening to your thoughts. Because in order for you to create this dream, you have to clear space in order to do it. And researchers say we all have between 50,000 to 70,000 thoughts a day. And 80% of them, girlfriends, are negative. I think that the reason why 80% of them are negative is because A, we're on autopilot and we don't control our thinking. And that's why I asked you to listen to yourself. Listen to yourself think. The other thing is that we bring all this baggage with us when we go into our imagination room, when we go into our imagination state, when we start to dream. We bring this baggage of things that people have said about us. We're not good enough. We're not pretty enough. There's just absolutely no way you can accomplish that. You don't belong in that group. You don't belong to walk in that crowd. You don't deserve. Who are you to drive that kind of car? That's the crap that you take with you into your imagination room, because it's things that people have said to you that have stuck. What I want to encourage you to do, girlfriend, is to get unstuck in the way that you're thinking. Here's 3 ways that can help you get unstuck and start thinking about yourself in a better way. There's 3 ways. I'm going to cover them, and here they are. One is worthiness. You have to attack your worthiness. You have to attack any thoughts that come into your mind that tell you that you're not worthy. That's the first thing. The second thing is the unforgiveness that you might have. And the third thing is, and we just kind of talked about that a little bit, and that is turning that negative voice into a positive. So let's talk about worthiness. On a scale from 1 to 10, how worthy do you feel? Do you feel worthy? Do you tell yourself, I am worthy? Do you feel deserving of this dream life that you have? Do you feel deserving of that light that's on the inside of you, that purpose? I'm here to tell you that you were born for a reason, that God has an amazing purpose for your life. That nudge, that excitement that you get with these little dreams in your head, that's not there by accident. You are God's masterpiece. He has made you in His perfect image. He favors you. He believes that you are amazing. I want you to get in touch with how God thinks about you. Get in touch with that. Feel that worthiness. Feel that love. But you have got to attack this idea that you are not worthy. And you know what? I think that probably a lot of you don't even recognize your self-doubt as unworthiness. So spend a little time thinking about that. Is this because I don't feel like I'm worthy? Do I feel like I'm not the one for the promotion because I have this sense of unworthiness? And wherever that unworthiness is coming from, it is not coming from the most important source, and that is God, and the second most important source, and that is you. It is time for you to start chatting yourself up in that room and clearing out that negativity. My friend, you are worthy. You are so worthy. Now, the second thing that I want to talk about is something that's a little bit tougher, and that's forgiveness. You might, and you have to think about this. You have to decide if this is something that is holding you back, if this is something that's keeping you stuck. Are you harboring unforgiveness? Is there someone in your life that you need to forgive? I'm going to tell you something that you have probably heard time and time again, and that is that forgiveness is for you and it is not for the other person. And you have probably heard this too. You have probably heard that the person that you need to forgive doesn't even think about you. They're out living their lives. They could care less whether you are completely miserable and completely attached to what they said or what they did to you. They're oblivious to it. They don't care. They don't think about it. And that might be painful, but it's the truth, and you need to think about that. And I want you to think about this. Is that unforgiveness? Is it an excuse? Is it an excuse to keep the anger? Is it an excuse to stay in the muck? Is it an excuse because it's comfortable? You've done it for so long, you've been mad for so long, that gets comfortable. When you're on a walk and you're running these scenarios through your mind, I told you to listen to your thinking. If that thinking is negative about relationships that you have, about unforgiveness, stop and attack it. Maybe you need to make a phone call. Maybe you need to make a phone call and say, you know what? You did me wrong, but I forgive you, and walk away and walk towards your dreams. I believe in you. You can do it. Now, the third thing in attacking this, clearing the space, is just that we have got to turn that negative voice into a positive voice. And so we have got to reprogram our thinking. So if you have not taken the time to take an entire day, don't try to fix it in the first day. Listen in the first day. Listen to what it is that you need to fix. And then take some time every single day and listen. Don't go on autopilot with your thinking, with your dreaming, okay? Think, listen, change, reword it, reprogram your mind. You can do it. Now, one more thing that I want to talk to you about before we go, and that is how to take this next step of feeling into your imagination. I'm going to give you my tips on how I do it personally. I don't always do it the same way. I do it in how it fits into my life that day. I have a journal, and it is my gratitude/dream journal. And what I do is when I choose that for my day of what I do to manifest my dreams, a lot of times I'll do it first thing in the morning, or I do it the last thing at night. I like to do it before I go to bed because it puts me in such a positive state of mind. In my journal, I write 5 things that I'm grateful for. Gratitude is going to put you in awe of the things that God has already manifested and given you in your life. So be in awe. Get that gratitude in you. get that gratitude in you. So that's what I do. The first thing is I write 5 things that I'm grateful for. And then I write 10 dreams that I want as if I've already manifested them in my life. So I will give you an example. Let me get my little dream book out here. I'll give you an example of what is in my dream book. And this is important to me, and this is why I start with this. I am a loving wife. I am a kind and loving sister. I am a great and loving mom. I am a kind and loving daughter. And I'm going to tell you why I start with that. I start with that because sometimes family is tough. And I, for probably the last several months, have been writing, I am a kind and loving daughter. I hadn't spoke with my father or had a relationship with my dad for probably a year. And I was harboring a lot of unforgiveness. But because it was something that I wanted to manifest in my life, I wanted to rekindle that relationship with my father, I wrote as if it had already been in my journal. And as we talk about serendipity next week, things in my life began to take place that brought me to that area where I could have that relationship, and I do have that loving relationship with my father now. So write it in your journal as if it already exists. I have, with ease, hired a great team for the Girl on Fire 2021 conference. I, with ease, have created my first amazing course. That's a dream of mine, that I want to create a course that actually gives you a class to own and to dig in deep to actually learn how to live your best possible life. There's so much more that I could go into depth in the show, but everybody only has so much time in their week, and so I try to respect that. So 10. Come up with 10 things that you can say to yourself that I am so excited now that I have. One of the things that I write a lot of times is I'll say, I just got the keys to my brand new lake house. I used to say I just got the keys to my brand new vehicle, but probably about a month ago, girlfriend, I got the keys to my brand new vehicle. So I want you to know that manifesting your dreams is possible, okay? You have to make a decision. You have to imagine. You have to feel. Another way that you can work on your dreams is through a conversation with a friend. Your journal is one way. I also do this 2 other ways, and that is that I will talk my dream out with my partner. So Stephen, who is my Mr. How, because I'm Mrs. Wow, I have all these wow ideas, and he's like, how's that going to happen? I trust him. He doesn't laugh at my dreams. He jumps on board with my dreams, and couples that dream together stay together. And so especially when we're walking, I just in full detail, and I get excited, and I've got this whole new dream in another whole new dream in my life, and I'm thinking about it, and I'm dreaming it out loud with him. Now, if you don't have somebody in your life that you can trust, and the emphasis is on who you can trust, then I want you to practice when you go into your dream, your imagination room, or your prayer room, or wherever it is that you do your imagining, in your car with the radio off, wherever it is that you can silently sit still and imagine for 5 minutes. What you can do is you can have an imaginary conversation with a friend who is going to just be rooting you on. If you want to think about me as the person that you call, then think about me, because I would be so excited and so happy to say, oh my God, yes, girlfriend, I am right there with you. I'm listening. So have this imaginary conversation, and you pretend like you're calling me up, or a good friend of yours. I know that I could call a really good friend of mine named Crystal, and she would listen to every single thing that I had to say, and she wouldn't make fun of me or roll her eyes. I would know that even on the other end of the phone, she would not be rolling her eyes. So call that person. Have that conversation with that person in your imagination. And remember, the conversation that you're having is the conversation that you just opened up your checking account and, oh my gosh, with ease, without even knowing it, I manifested $1,200. I got a check from the insurance company that I wasn't expecting. If you want to manifest money in your life, the end conversation is you opened up the mail and there was a check. You opened up your checking account online and you're like, literally, this just happened to Stephen and I. This just happened to Stephen and I a week ago. He's like, where did this extra $780 some come from? And I get this huge smile on my face because we have a shared checking account, and I'm thinking, yeah, baby, we'll be manifesting some money in our checking account. You can do it too. You can do it. You have to dream it. Because you first have to dream it before you can see it. And all of those negative emotions that you're having, that crap is bringing more negative crap into your life. We've got to put the brakes. We've got to put the brakes on that negative thinking. I'm Kelly Lozano. This is the Kelly Lynn Lozano Show. You can watch us every single week and learn how to live your best possible life. Join me. Join me this Thursday on the Kelly Lynn Lozano Facebook page for more talk. That's a great time for you to hop on and ask questions. If you're at this point in the process and you're like, okay, I have a question about this, hop on. I'm right there, happy to ask. And it's another chance for me just to feed you more encouragement and more how-tos on how to have the best possible life. Whatever it is that is in your heart to do, I want you to think about this. It makes me want to cry. There is somebody out there that needs you to feed them your dream. So whatever it takes, you can do it. I love you, girlfriend. Have a great night. See you next week for Season 1, Episode 4 of the Kelly Lynn Lozano Show.